What's up, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with our mock draft Monday. I hope everyone had a great Easter, got to spend some time with their family. But we're back to that fantasy football grind, back with that Monday mock draft. Sorry for that. Back with that Monday mock draft. And you guys showed a ton of support on the first one. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna release this mock draft on Monday and release another mock draft Tuesday or Wednesday. So you'll get 2 mock drafts next week because you guys showed so much support. Again, if we get 5 likes or 20 views in the mock drafts, I will come out with 2 the next following week. And we did that 2 weeks in a row, so shout out to the boys for all the support on the channel. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button down below. Like the video, it really helps us out. And if you leave any comments down below, all of that helps, and I will respond to all comments as always. So without further ado, let's hop right into this mock draft. We are drafting from the 105, randomly selected, half-point PPR, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex. Okay, here we are. So let's hide the guys I've drafted. So started off with Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Devontae Adams. So right here, basically, I'm between Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. I'm going to take Derrick Henry. I like Derrick Henry a lot more than Saquon, to be honest with you, just because the offensive line is more formidable for the Titans. Derrick Henry, obviously, that enormous year last year. I think Saquon Barkley might be a little more talented, but I mean, at this point, it's really a debate. Derrick Henry is one of only 8 NFL backs to ever have over 2,000 rushing yards in a season. Led the league in rushing the year before that with over 1,500. Sure, he doesn't have the pass catching, but Saquon's been injured a lot in his career so far. It's an injury-plagued sport, so that doesn't mean he's going to get injured in the future, but the biggest predictor of future injuries is previous injuries, and Derrick Henry has been an absolute stud, so I'm going to take him here, and we'll see who we can scoop up in the second round. Okay, so let's see. So we drafted Henry, then Nick Chubb went, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Ezekiel Elliott, Tyreek Hill, Cam Akers, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins, Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler, Travis Kelce, and Stephon Diggs went right before our pick. So let's take a look who we got here. So as far as running backs, Antonio Gibson still available, who I really do like. A.J. Brown is still available. I like him as well. Michael Thomas, I consider him in this range, especially if Jameis Winston ends up winning that starting job, which I believe he will. I think Michael Thomas will be a stud if Jameis is the starting quarterback. He likes to force the ball a lot to his star receivers and put the ball downfield a lot more than Drew Brees ever did. But yeah, for me here, it's basically between A.J. Brown and Antonio Gibson. I had to sneeze real quick. I'm going to take A.J. Brown here. Like I said, I did that video about him as a winner of free agency, which you should check out. The reason that he's such a winner is with Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith gone, he's really the only show in town now. I think he's just going to get a ton of targets. He's super talented. Obviously, though, I would probably take him if I hadn't taken Derrick Henry. So we're going to take Antonio Gibson here just because I don't want to have 2 Tennessee Titans. So we'll take him there, round out our running backs. Okay, so after we took him, Michael Thomas went the board, Calvin Ridley, A.J. Brown, George Kittle, DeAndre Swift, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Jacobs, and Justin Jefferson. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still available. I really like him this year. But then you still got a guy like Chris Carson down there. I'd be willing to wait a little bit, snag somebody like him, and snag one of these stud receivers. I'm actually going to take Julio Jones here. Really like him this year. And anytime you can get him in the 3rd round, I think you just do it. I just don't understand why he's falling so low. He was on pace for 1,600 yards in his healthy games last year, 102 receptions. Draft Julio and forget about it. You can set him in your lineup every week, and he's going to be a stud. Okay, so let's see. We've got Amari Cooper still available, Ken Galladay, Josh Allen. You know what? This is a mock draft, and I haven't taken a quarterback in the 4th round in a draft yet. We're going to take Josh Allen here, and we're going to see how the team turns out. Josh Allen is a stud fantasy quarterback. Obviously, we saw what he was able to do last year. They bring Brian Daboll back, a lot of those same weapons. Sure, John Brown's gone, but Gabriel Davis, who I talked about in the Dynasty wide receiver rebuild video, I think he's going to step up and have a huge year. So we snagged him there. Excuse that background noise. Okay, Mark Andrews I would think about in the 5th round if we had another wide receiver. But I think I'm going to take Cooper Kupp here. I really like Cooper Kupp in that in the Rams offense with Matthew Stafford. So we're going to take him there. Fill out our wide receiver, running backs, and quarterback spot. Ooh, Will Fuller and Chase Edmonds are both available here. I'm going to snag Chase Edmonds, honestly. I think he could be a really good flex. I really like what he was the talent that he has as a player, and especially in that offense, his pass-catching ability. I think he could, be dynamic in that offense potentially. Especially, Kyler Murray probably doesn't rush in 10, 11 touchdowns next year. Some of those could slide more to the running back position. They also had a Chase Edmonds. Who knows? But at this point in the year, I'll take him. I think he's a powerful flex you can snag in that 6th round. Okay. The only thing I really regret a little bit about taking Josh Allen so early is guys like Justin Herbert are still available in the 7th round. That is kind of a bummer, but that's why you do mock drafts. But let's check out who is all available. Between Raheem Mostert and Deebo Samuel here. We're going to take Raheem, and hopefully we can get... Deebo is probably going to be taken, but we'll take Raheem Mostert here just to get some more running back depth. Just because the options after this are just going to be significantly worse. Okay, so he didn't make it back to us as expected. Let's see, 8th round. Looking at either Marquise Brown, Curtis Samuel, or Dallas Goedert here. I'm going to keep snagging some wide receivers just because I haven't taken very many. Let's take Curtis Samuel. Believe in him a little bit more than I believe in Marquise Brown with Lamar Jackson and Sammy Watkins now in that offense. Not that Sammy Watkins is a huge threat, but last time he was with this offense coordinator was when he was at Buffalo and is averaging over 15 fantasy points per game. Was a much different player back then, but that's the reason I took Curtis Samuel there instead of Marquise Brown. And Dallas Goedert was still able to make it back to us, so I'm going to take him here. I think he could be very involved in that offense. Let's snag him, fill out that starting lineup. Now we can snag some more bench depth. Yeah, I really like that Dallas Goedert. I think he's a very talented tight end. I think he's going to get the ball a lot in the passing game, especially if they don't go wide receiver in the 1st round. So, yeah, I'm excited about him. Yeah, and then I'm going to take Tarik Cohen. I think he's falling too far down in drafts. I'm getting in 10th, 11th round pretty consistently, double-digit rounds. And he's like a James White type in this offense. I think he hurts David Montgomery a lot more than people know. And I'm really excited about what he could, he's a guy in the right matchup you could flex, I think, for sure. Solid depth running back. Okay, let's see. Christian Kirk is still available. If you think Christian Kirk and A.J. Green, I think is a real debate, and they're sounding like Larry Fitzgerald's going to retire. So whoever is the number 2 in that team when they run 4 wide receiver sets so often, I think is going to be very valuable. I'm actually going to take a little bit of a surprise pick, though. I'm going to take Cole Beasley. I think he falls way too far in drafts. 2nd team All-Pro last year. I know if you see my videos, you probably heard me say that a lot. But it's true, and he's going to dominate that slot position again in that Bills offense, so they're going to air it out so much. So let's take him there. Jonnu Smith in the 12th round. I know they have Hunter Henry there now too. But Jonnu Smith did get more money. I think there's a good chance, he could be the more fantasy relevant tight end. And in the 12th round, you're really not risking a whole lot. Although I already have taken my tight end. I'm actually going to snag Jeff Wilson Jr. here. Just because I have Raheem Mostert too. And I just feel like if I have both of them, I'm going to have a really good chance at locking down a massive portion of that San Francisco 49ers backfield. And whoever's the starting running back for the 49ers is going to be very valuable for fantasy. Okay, I actually am going to take a second tight end here. I'm going to take Jonnu just because it's a 13th round. And I feel like I got really good value on him that I just could not pass up at this point. And Dallas Goedert, like I said, is good. I'm excited about him, but things could go wrong. It's not set in stone by any means. Now it gets a little tough. Taking a look at some of these guys. Joe Burrow here is a great value. Obviously, I have Josh Allen, but would love the value on him here. Emmanuel Sanders is also in Buffalo now, as we were saying, with all the weapons that they have. I'm actually going to take A.J. Green here. Don't know if he's done yet in Arizona. And like I said, Larry Fitzgerald retires. It's either him or Christian Kirk is going to be the number 2 receiver on that team. And whoever is the number 2 for the Cardinals will be very, very valuable for fantasy. Especially when you can snag him potentially in the 14th round. And then I'm going to snag Alan Lazard. Also probably the number 2 for the Packers at this point. Get him there. And then we'll discuss the roster. Okay, so we have Josh Allen at quarterback, Derrick Henry at running back, Antonio Gibson our RB2, Julio Jones, Cooper Kupp, Dallas Goedert, Chase Edmonds is our flex, Raheem Mostert on our bench, Curtis Samuel, Tarik Cohen, Cole Beasley, Jeff Wilson, Jonnu Smith, A.J. Green, and Alan Lazard. I really like that I took the running back Raheem Mostert there now too, especially because I was able to secure Jeff Wilson, and then I was able to snag receivers at the end of the draft like A.J. Green and Alan Lazard. I could cut him week 1 if I need to, no worries there. But and then I got like Cole Beasley, where it's like I was able to get guys I can stick in and start for these receivers any given week, can flex late in the draft by just taking valuable wide receivers and loading up on those running backs early, because that's after that 7th, 8th round, it's really hard to find guys who are going to be able to start any given week. So I'm pretty happy with the way this team went out. Would I have drafted Josh Allen in hindsight? Probably not, but I mean that's why you do mocks. That's why we did it. But yeah, Josh, this is the team. If you guys made it to this point, please hit that like button in the video, hit that subscribe button down below, and leave any questions or comments down below. Rate my team, give me a rating in the comments, and I will respond as always to all comments. Until next time, peace out, Fantasy Joe.